China responds to US weapons sales to Taiwan, sanctions 5 American defense entities. China slapped penalties on 5 US defense-related companies on Sunday, January 7th, in what is believed to be retaliation for the US arms sales to Taiwan and the US sanctions imposed on Chinese persons and companies. The Chinese Foreign Ministry stated in an online statement that the sanctioned companies' properties will be frozen in China and that persons and organizations will not be allowed to conduct business there due to the newly implemented sanctions. BAE Systems Land and Armament, Alliant Tech Systems Operation, AeroVironment, Viasat, and Datalink Solutions are the US companies which have been sanctioned by China. According to the Chinese Foreign Ministry, US actions infringed the rights and interests of China, undermined peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait, and hurt China's sovereignty and security interests. The Chinese government remains unwavering in our resolve to safeguard national sovereignty, security and territorial integrity, and protect the lawful rights and interests of Chinese companies and citizens, the statement said. Taiwan is a self-governing island nation off the coast of China, and Beijing views it as a province gone wild that will eventually have to submit to Chinese rule. It's rooted deep in history, shaped by a series of events that have led to the current state of affairs. You see, the narrative of China, Taiwan, and the US is not merely a story of 3 nations. It's a reflection of the broader geopolitical dynamics that have been at play for decades. The US's strategic interests in Taiwan are multifaceted. Taiwan is not just a democratic ally, it's also a crucial link in US's strategy to maintain a balance of power in the Asia-Pacific region. And then there's China's territorial claims. China views Taiwan as a renegade province that must be reintegrated even if by force. This assertive stance has intensified over the years, fueling tensions and raising global concerns. As we delve deeper into this topic, we will shed light on the series of events that have led us to the current situation. So, buckle up. We're about to take a journey into the heart of geopolitics, where power, strategy, and national interests intertwine to shape the destiny of nations and the course of world history. Understanding the present requires a grasp of the past. So let us walk through the timeline of events that have shaped the current geopolitical landscape. In the aftermath of World War II, Taiwan found itself at the crossroads of global politics. The island, once under Japanese rule, was handed back to China, only to witness a tumultuous period of civil unrest. The Chinese Civil War, a pivotal event in the mid-20th century, saw the communist forces of Mao Zedong square off against the nationalist forces of Chiang Kai-shek. The nationalists, defeated on the mainland, retreated to Taiwan, effectively separating it from communist China. Fast forward to 1979, the United States enacted the Taiwan Relations Act. This legislation, while acknowledging Beijing's claim over Taiwan under the One China policy, also committed the US to support Taiwan's ability to defend itself. This paradoxical stance has been a cornerstone of US-Taiwan relations and a constant source of friction with China. In the recent past, the US has ramped up its arms sales to Taiwan, a move Beijing sees as a blatant challenge to its sovereignty. From advanced fighter jets to anti-ship missiles, the arms package is aimed at bolstering Taiwan's defense capabilities against potential threats. Meanwhile, China hasn't held back in flexing its military muscle. Chinese planes have conducted rigorous training exercises near Taiwan's airspace, a move seen as a stark reminder of its reunification agenda. The US Director of National Intelligence raised eyebrows in 2022 when she suggested that China is building a military capable of taking over Taiwan by 2030. These events have set the stage for the current state of affairs, creating a delicate balance of power. Now that we have the historical context, let's turn our attention to the present day. The world has been watching as the United States continues to bolster Taiwan's defense capabilities through arms sales. This is a clear show of support for Taiwan's sovereignty and an attempt to counterbalance China's growing military might. But this hasn't gone unnoticed or unanswered by China. In retaliation, China has sanctioned 5 American defense entities. This move is seen as a warning shot to the United States, a clear message that China will not stand idly by as the US supports its perceived renegade province. These sanctions are not just symbolic. They have real-world implications, affecting the financial and operational capabilities of these defense entities, and in turn potentially impacting the overall defense industry of the United States. But the reverberations of these actions extend beyond the US and China. On the international stage, they add another layer to the escalating tensions between the two superpowers. Countries around the world are being forced to navigate this increasingly complex geopolitical landscape. Allies of the US may face pressure from China, while those leaning towards China may have to reconsider their stance in light of the US's unwavering support for Taiwan. These actions also raise questions about the future of international relations. Will we see an increasing trend of economic sanctions being used as a tool of coercion? And how will other nations respond to this growing rivalry between the US and China? The recent developments have certainly added a new layer of complexity to an already intricate geopolitical situation. With the current state of affairs, one might wonder, what could the future hold? As we look ahead, we can see several potential scenarios unfold based on current trends. The most immediate concern revolves around the escalating tensions between China and Taiwan, exacerbated by US support for Taiwan. The reports of China building a military capable of taking over Taiwan by 2030 could lead to a significant shift in the geopolitical power balance. If this were to occur, it would not only redefine the relationship between China, Taiwan, and the US, but it might also ripple across the global political and economic landscapes. We must also consider the potential economic repercussions. Sanctions, often a go-to tool in these high-stakes geopolitical games, could impact global markets. If the US imposes sanctions on China, it could disrupt international trade, potentially leading to economic instability. On the other hand, China's sanctioning of American defense entities might strain the US defense sector, with implications for its economy and security. In a broader context, this tripartite tension could have serious implications for global security. The threat of nuclear coercion by China to achieve reunification with Taiwan by 2027 is a chilling prospect. This could lead to an arms race, escalating tensions not just in Asia, but globally. And what of the role of other international players in this scenario? Russia's recent actions in Ukraine, staging illegal referendums under coercion, may set a troubling precedent. If left unchecked, it could embolden other nations to employ similar tactics, further destabilizing the global political order. However, it's not all doom and gloom. This could also be an opportunity for international diplomacy to shine. Nations could band together, enforcing international law and promoting peaceful negotiations. The role of international bodies like the United Nations could be instrumental in mediating these tensions and maintaining global peace and security. While the future remains uncertain, one thing is clear: the actions of these three entities will continue to shape the geopolitical landscape in the years to come. In this intricate web of geopolitics, understanding the dynamics is crucial. We've journeyed through the historical context, tracing the timeline of escalating tensions. We've dissected the current scenario, where US weapons sales to Taiwan have triggered China's sanctioning of 5 American defense entities. We've also speculated on potential future implications, mulling over how this could alter the global balance of power. As we continue to monitor this situation, remember, every move on this geopolitical chessboard could significantly affect the global balance of power.